my well-being and education. I'd like to see the paperwork regarding my guardianship, my inheritance, and the terms of my parents' will. You would like to see paperwork? His voice was flat with disbelief. I'm surprisingly literate for someone who's been systematically ignored and undermined, I said cheerfully. Amazing what a child can accomplish when they're not being constantly told they're worthless. Mrs. Hartwell looked like she was about to faint. The Duke looked like he was reconsidering his life choices. Where, he asked carefully, is this coming from? I tilted my head, considering how to answer that without sounding completely insane. Let's just say I had something of an epiphany. A moment of clarity, if you will. I realized that I don't have to accept being treated poorly just because I'm young and dependent on your goodwill. I see. He leaned back in his chair, studying me with those storm gray eyes. And what precisely do you propose to do about it? I smiled sweetly. Well, Your Grace, I propose we have a little chat about expectations, mutual respect, and the fact that if you continue to allow your staff to treat me like an inconvenience, I might just have to start treating this guardianship like the legal contract it actually is. The silence that followed was the kind that makes you wonder if you've accidentally declared war. Over the next few days, I settled into a routine that can best be described as controlled mayhem. The original Evangeline had been a quiet, timid child who tried desperately not to be noticed. I, on the other hand, had decided that if I was going to be stuck in this ridiculous story, I might as well make it interesting. My first order of business was dealing with the household staff, who had apparently made tormenting a small child their favorite pastime. Mrs. Hartwell, in particular, seemed to take personal offense to my newfound backbone. Lady Evangeline, she snapped during breakfast, you will eat your porridge and stop making faces. I looked down at the gray, lumpy substance in my bowl. In the book, Evangeline was always given the worst food while everyone else ate properly. Today's porridge looked like it had been scraped off the bottom of someone's shoe. Hartwell, I said pleasantly, I couldn't help but notice that this porridge bears a striking resemblance to wallpaper paste. Is this intentional, or should I be concerned about the cook's eyesight? The other servants at their table went silent. Mrs. Hartwell's face turned an interesting shade of purple. You ungrateful child. Actually, I interrupted, standing up in my chair to address the room. I've been doing some thinking about gratitude, and I realized that gratitude should be reciprocal. You're grateful for your employment. I'm grateful for food that doesn't qualify as a war crime. Everyone wins. I picked up my bowl and walked over to the servants' table, where Cook was enjoying what appeared to be actual eggs and toast. Cook, I said brightly, I don't suppose you'd mind terribly if I had some of what you're having? I promised to be appropriately grateful for food that doesn't violate the laws of nature. Cook, who was a round, motherly woman named Mrs. Davies, looked between me and Mrs. Hartwell with obvious distress. In the book, she was one of the few people who showed Evangeline any kindness, though she was usually too intimidated to do much. I suppose, she stammered. Excellent, before anyone could protest. I'd swapped my bowl of paste for a plate of